It's a great honor to bring my friend and funny guy and also author of the Yat Dictionary, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Champagne.
Thank you, John. I'm really glad to be here tonight on the Good Night Show, and thank you all for coming out and supporting John and all these wonderful people here. I do political satire mostly, and John asked me to do something about Nagin. I'd rather not, but he's got indicted, so I guess that makes a lot of people happy. He's got 21 counts of bribery. He was bribed with granite, which means he's probably going to jail for being bribed with rocks. He also took bribes in checks. So my fear is that if there's a stupidity defense, he might walk. So I tried to think of something nice to say about Nagin's administration, and I came up with a couple of positives. He was going to be the tech guy, bring us into the 21st century. Meffert and Jones, there's two tech guys, they're going to jail or in jail. Mark St. Pierre, his contractor's in prison. So soon, Louisiana penal system will have the greatest IT team in the world. And after the Chocolate City comments, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a new product in New Orleans called Nagin Dazs ice cream. And it has flavors named after the politicians. There's two Ray Nagin flavors. There's before Katrina, it's vanilla ice cream covered with chocolate. And the one after Katrina is chocolate ice cream covered with chocolate. There's the Kathleen Blanco Rocky Road Home. There's the Kevin Davis, the St. Tammany president. It's three flavors. It's vanilla, vanilla, and vanilla. And my favorite one is the Ed Blakely flavor. It tastes like chicken shit. Thank you. That's one of my favorites too, actually. But his biggest accomplishment was along with Chief Riley, because crime's a big problem here. And after Katrina, Chief Riley and Ray Nagin managed to export one of our great natural resources here in New Orleans to the southeast. That would be murder. They exported it to Atlanta and Houston, and they still kept our murder rate very high. That's a great accomplishment. But it's okay now, because we've got Mitch now, and he's bestowed us with surpass. He had a national search to find the best police chief in America. It just so happened the best police chief in America happened to be his childhood friend who used to be in the NOPD. That's what you call, in New Orleans, a coincidence. Now, Mitch did say that it came down to this. He chose surpass because he didn't have to teach him about Mardi Gras. The best three people for this job in America were in that room. He said, y'all are pretty sharp, but it's a tie. And I gotta break that tie. So I got one more question. How many floats did Okeanos have in 1978? And that's how Surpass got the job. I mean, he changes his mind why he can't do anything about this every month. I mean, there was a double homicide the other day. I thought he was going to go on TV and say, well, you know, they had a Groupon. And then the DA said, when one of his witnesses got gunned down, he said, the citizens of New Orleans should not be afraid to be witnesses in violent crime cases. I'm afraid about this because you see, if you got caught by one of these traffic cameras that they got from the Joseph Stalin administration, because they need to raise money because 60 years of horrible leadership in New Orleans by their friends, they might change. They said, no, you weren't murdered. Okay, that was the express bus to heaven. That'll be $799 for your family to pay. Now, we were talking about it before, with the Times-Picayune only got them for 3 days now. I mean, what are we going to do without them? Because I'm going to tell you what, in the last 50 years, the Times-Picayune has endorsed, among others for public office, Edwin Edwards, Bill Jefferson, Aaron Broussard, Ray Nagin, Eddie Price, Oliver Thomas, John Johnson. Like I said, what are we going to do without them, you know? I mean, we should start pre-indicting our candidates. Well, I got one more thing to say. This city's been going into Bacauza for years. You got these mother-humping politicians with heads as soft as a naked alligator pair swigging on an orange drink, telling you they're going to run the city like a business. Some bitches don't know shit from Shinola, and they claim to know the name of an unknown soldier's wife. Believe me when I tell you, these bastards are nothing more than a lost ball in high weeds. They're only trying to stick it in your keister for Easter, in your pubismus for Christmas, in your bonza for Kwanzaa. But I got their critique hanging, flapping like a Wrigley's breeze. My cocunis are getting this big. I mean, they're really starting to swell them up. This time we stuck my Creole Southern Stamanga and their go-go so far they're going to scream like a jaguar with their locked balls. And if that ain't bad enough, you got some propagandist egghead from Tulane to Loyola putting them out on the yachts. Well, this is one scuzzy ninth ward boy who ate enough vegetables that he ain't got brain damage. I just as soon drop a bum on them all, or God forbid, flush them down a toilet with nothing more than a passing thought. And if they think they're gonna get to better me, all I can tell you is they're gonna shit a brick with their name on it. Monkeys are gonna jump out my ass before they get away with that. When I get through with these chookies, they're going to be at Roots Chris, cutting buttonholes, pacing up and down like a walking Charlie, having a conniption fit doing St. Vitus dance, not knowing whether to shit or go blind. And if you really want to get down to the bottom of the problem, all you got to do is follow the money, honey. That's right, the Jean, the 7th Ward smackers. Show me the kern, daddy. We got to stop running this city like a rabbi shop. We got to start taking up for all those hearts and darlings working their fingers to the bone just to earn a silver dime. Not them sons of bitchin' politicians that everybody knows would steal Christ off the cross, then go back for the nails. They ought to put these some bitches under the jail. But Cap, they ain't gonna get away with it, cause God don't sleep. Yeah, you right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right, Chris Champagne. Man.
Thank you.
Man. Wow. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on my show. And you're also the author of the Yat Dictionary. Now,
I must confess,
what I like about this is the unabridged version of the Yat Dictionary. In your words, Chris, what is a Yat?
Well, it's a working class New Orleans dialect, basically, and it was a form of derision originally from people from the north, calling us Yats because of where you at. It started in the Irish Channel, basically. If you listen, I've had scholars actually approach me about this. And,
really?
And they kind of backed up what I thought, so that was kind of good because I didn't want any crap about it. Because when you start fooling around with anything in New Orleans, everybody's got 800 opinions. And I told somebody, I did a thing about Yat once in another book, and I said, you know, I don't know if I want to do this because I don't want to get into like fights at cocktail parties for the rest of my life. But you know, so but it's now become a term that we've embraced, I think. And so you know, in fact, I've been amazed. I've only gotten one person really give me any crap about it, and I'm sure there'll be more, but so far only one. Knock on wood.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
come on, man. Like, God, I work all month on this, like, hair, and like, man, careful, man. So I'm just going to kind of read through this Yat Dictionary here. Let's see. I like this. CL10.
Well, you know, that's not so much Yat, it's just a New Orleans thing. In fact, I always get this whenever I see somebody, when I was doing it, they say, do you have this in there? And the first person they asked me if I had this in there, they had that, that's what they asked me, do I have CL10 in there? So I felt glad that I put it in there because I didn't want to disappoint anybody.
I don't know if everyone knows what CL10 is. That's right, Clio Street, yeah, CL10. All right, log.
How do you spell that?
L-A-A-G.
It's what? L-A-A, it's leg.
Oh, leg.
Leg, yeah, leg.
C-A-W, caw.
Caw, yeah, you caw. You park your car at Harvard Yard.
God, you got everything in here, man.
Vegetable, that's my favorite one.
What is it?
Vegetable.
Vegetable?
Right. I mean, there are actually people in New Orleans who think that's the proper way to say vegetable.
It's not?
No. Well, maybe here it is, but not, you know, in the greater world.
Well, no, it's spelled right. V-E-J-J-A-T-E-B-B-L-E. Vegetable.
Right, I got it right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it right
I forgot. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, it was a pleasure having you on the show, and
thank you, John.
Let's hear it once again for Chris Champagne.